How are you doing, lads and lasses? Yeah, alright today. By the way, just as a quick side note, yes, I've got a rope tied to my hands. That was because I escaped P Diddy's basement just before recording the video. So there you go. Yeah, but today is Premier League Game Week 14. I didn't realise it was a midweek. This time, there's 2 games this week, so to speak. So yeah, let's just get into the first half of games. There will be a second video obviously coming out this week to do the second part. So without further ado, let's start off with the 2 games that kick off this evening. Ipswich Town Crystal Palace and Leicester City West Ham. Let's start off obviously with Ipswich and Palace. Now Palace have been okay. I mean, they drew to Newcastle last week, much to our dismay. We just couldn't hold on. But Palace were, by and large, a much better team in the second half once again. I'm going to say that Ipswich are going to win this one 2-1. Liam Delap and Omari Hutchinson to get the goals for Ipswich Town. And Crystal Palace, I'm going to say... you've got your pick, really. I'm going to say Tyrick Mitchell. Don't know why, I just feel like there's going to be an odd goal scorer. And why not him? The dirty fucker got a yellow card for a really bad foul in the Newcastle game, and I'm still mad about it, but I'll let him off this once. Leicester City and West Ham, on the other hand, I can see this being a 1-1 draw. 2 teams that are struggling for confidence right now. Ruud van Nistelrooy got absolutely battered, I believe it was, at Old Trafford by Man United last week. 4-0 defeat. Fair enough, it is his first game as Leicester manager, but a 4-0 defeat, still a 4-0 defeat. West Ham struggling for points at the moment. They've had a decent upturn as of lately, obviously beating Newcastle, and I can't even remember what the result was last week. I'm going to play on the safe side, as I said, 1-1 draw. Jamie Vardy and Jared Bowen to get the goals for either team. Can I see either team edging this? I think West Ham have a better chance of the 2, but I wouldn't like to put money on it. Let's just put it that way. There are now 6 more games going into tomorrow evening, so we're just going to briefly cover each one of them. Southampton and Chelsea is the first one. I think it's a Chelsea 3-0 win. Cole Palmer hat-trick. For me, I just feel like Southampton, okay, fine, have picked up a couple of good performances and good results, but just haven't been anywhere near the races for the most part of the season so far. And against what is a resurgent Chelsea team, I mean, I think they're currently sitting 3rd in the league. I can't not put them in that conversation to batter Southampton, so there you go. Other games this week: Man City, Nottingham Forest. Man City now, I believe, have stretched their losing streak in the Premier League to 6 games. Or 5 games technically. They drew in the Champions League obviously against Feyenoord after blowing a 3-0 lead. Well done, lads. But I feel like they're just not at it. I mean, yeah, they're at the Etihad and they're against Forest this time out, but is there an argument there to say on form alone Forest have a chance? Of course there is. The way I see it playing out, on the other hand, is a 1-0 win for Man City. Nuno's team, or Nuno's teams, whether it be obviously with Forest right now, or whether it be with Wolves in the past or whatever, have always played a pragmatic defensive style of football. They've been very well set up, and they just, on a player style type of thing, they usually hit on the counter-attack or they use quick transitions. Maybe that catches City out, considering there seems to be a communication error, particularly between the defence and the midfield. There's a disconnect there, which is why they've conceded so many goals. I'm going to go for a 1-0 win. I think Erling Haaland will get the goal, even though at current form, literally a donkey. We could wheel Ibrahimovic out of retirement, he'd do a better job. We could wheel fucking Michael Schumacher onto the pitch and he'd do a better job at the minute. So there you go. I think it's going to be a narrow 1-0 win for Man City. With that being said, I don't think that's going to kick-start their season. Maybe they go on another couple of draws or losses before they actually get going. Newcastle and Liverpool. Based on Newcastle's performance last week, we definitely miss Dan Burn, who he is back. Obviously played in the last game, but obviously he wasn't fully match fit, which came out later on in the week. To be honest, with him in the back line and with a couple of decent performances from other players, I mean, Wilson and Isak have both been absolutely fucking useless in recent weeks. Isak against West Ham was awful. Wilson against, or what I've seen of him against Palace, was terrible. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 defeat for Newcastle. I think for us, it's going to be Anthony Gordon scoring against, I believe it's his boyhood club. And for Liverpool, I'm going to say Mohamed Salah, and I'm going to go for Virgil van Dijk from a set piece. We just seem to be conceding too much from a set piece. We didn't hold on against Palace last week. We've been very cagey and shaky. Now, there are fans advocating for the sacking of Eddie Howe. Now, I don't believe that to be a reasonable response. After all, we are only, I think it's 5 points outside of the top 4 right now. So it's not beyond us to get a couple of wins under our belt and be in that conversation for Europe again. With that being said, if this continues in the performance-wise levels, like the performance levels we've shown, is there a potential? Yeah. I wouldn't like to see him sacked, but I feel like needs must at some point. Whether he's lost the dressing room or whether we're just not clicking tactically, I don't know. But in my opinion, he will not get sacked at the end of this week. Certainly he'll get till about January before we really start looking at him. But with that being said, he hasn't been backed the way he should have been backed. Anyway, enough Newcastle talk. We are going to lose. And as I said before, Mohamed Salah and Virgil van Dijk will get the goals for Liverpool, and Anthony Gordon will get the goal for Newcastle. But in the end, it will result in a defeat at St James's Park for the second game running. Liverpool, Everton and Wolves. And I nearly said, well, I did say Liverpool there, so Everton fans, feel free to shoot us in the comments. I'll give you that one for free, okay? But this is what I'm going to say for you two, right? You're both relegation threatened. Wolves have picked up a little bit of form, but not enough to suggest they're going to turn this around and stay up or be in a fight for Europe or a fight for mid-table. I think they are definitely in the relegation scrap. Everton is very much in the same boat. I could edge one of the two teams. That sounds wrong. But I could edge one of the two teams to get the result. I'm going to say a 1-1 draw to be safe. Dwight McNeil will get the goal for Everton. And I believe that Mario Lemina will get the goal for Wolves. I just don't see much separating the two teams. I mean, yeah, points-wise, they are, I think it's like 6 points apart. But performance-wise, they haven't been too dissimilar from each other. And therefore, yeah, it's going to be a 1-1 draw. Arsenal and Man United, probably the biggest game of the week. I mean, they've drawn each other in the FA Cup as well, which is somewhat ironic. Man United 4-0 win last week, very convincing performance. I believe Arsenal won last week as well, even though I'm not 100% certain on that. I'll be completely honest, I don't do much research for these videos, as you probably can tell. I'm going to say, again, I could go for a Man United win actually, because they do seem to be firing a little bit better. They're firing on more cylinders than what they have done. I'm going to see a narrow 2-1 win for Man United. I don't think it'll be an outclassing by any stretch. I just think they're going to get a lucky goal somewhere along the line. Rasmus Højlund and I believe, I'm going to say Xerxes to get a goal for Man United. And for Arsenal, I'm going to say Trossard. I don't know why it's popped in my head, but I'm going to say Leandro Trossard for Arsenal. But again, it's not going to be enough for Arsenal at home, and Man United will walk away with all 3 points. Aston Villa and Brentford. Now, Aston Villa, I don't think have won in 13 or something like that. I don't know if that's all competitions or something like, but it's just ridiculous. Brentford have looked good, to be fair, in recent weeks, and I really can't discount them or look past them. I'm going to have to go for a Brentford win away from home. 2-1 to Brentford. I think John Duran will get a goal for Aston Villa, put them possibly in front. Vitaly Janelt and Johan Visa will get the goals for Brentford to get them a famous victory, I suppose, because again, like, Brentford played really well last week, 4-2 against Wolves. Very, very good performance. They let 2 goals in, which can you argue maybe they shouldn't have done? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. But from my perspective at least, they've shown more than enough attacking quality to get a result against Aston Villa. And Aston Villa are looking a little bit vulnerable as of recently. So that is the reason and why I'm picking them to win. We're moving to the final two games now. These are the Thursday kickoffs. We're going to go for Fulham and Brighton first. Both teams are fairly decent. Brighton having slightly better outcomes than Fulham, but both teams are performing fairly well. I'm going to say I could see a 1-1 draw again, because again there's not much to separate the two teams, but do I go for another away win? No, fuck it, 1-1 draw. Raul Jimenez will get the goal for Fulham, and I believe that who do get the goal for Brighton? Hinchell would. Why not? Go on, youth player to get the goal. I just feel like both teams are equally matched, and there's nothing much that tells me they're going to get anything other than a 1-1 draw. It's at Craven Cottage, so Fulham do have the home advantage, but I believe that Brighton have, pound for pound, a better squad than Fulham do. Final game, Bournemouth and Tottenham. Bournemouth have found results a little bit harder to come by as of recent weeks. Tottenham look to be coming into a decent vein of form. I'm going to say 2-0 to Tottenham, Dominic Solanke and Dejan Kulusevski to get the goals. I just don't see Bournemouth beating what is a in-form Tottenham team. Obviously they beat Man City a couple of weeks ago, which is just excellent, and they beat someone else, I think last week, might be wrong. No, they drew to Fulham. So this is just put all of my reasoning in the pot, but I'm still going to stick with my results. 2-0 win for Tottenham. And yeah, that is game week 14. Let me know what you think of your predictions, or my predictions rather, down in the comments. Let me know what yours are as well, so I can laugh at yous. Yeah, let me know. Leave a like, subscribe, all of that good shit. Thank you for the support on the channel recently. There will be, as I said, more videos coming out during this week. I'll record a few more for you when I charge my battery up, because I can see the lower battery in the corner there. So I'll leave you alone to enjoy the rest of your day, and bye bye for now.